There we go. I did it. Are you proud of me?
No.
Nice. There's absolutely nothing on the screen. Where is even my PNG tuber? It'd be a good idea to actually open that, wouldn't it?
Be a good idea to actually bully your artist for the VTuber model. I mean,
No
what?
one's going to. Oh, no. You know, it shows that it was made by. It's not even showing. Oh, there we go. Okay. And now we load up the game. What if I just randomly uninstalled it one day without even realizing? No, I still have it. I hear someone outside my door. Okay.
So I was about to get kidnapped. Let's go.
No, just people being loud right outside my door. Right. I need to change the game capture because I played Little Nightmares. Will it change? Oh, there we go. I want to try something with the Discord stream. Can I? No, I cannot. Never mind. Actually, let's have a look. What does this do? That does not do what I wanted it to do. Never mind. Streaming the game. Ah! Not what I want. Where is it? There it is. Can you see it?
I mean, look. Yes, I can see it.
Alrighty then. Let me bring the mic closer to me because you probably can't hear me as well. What is the time? What is it?
It's 20 to 7.
God damn. Yeah. This is AM. It exactly? You lied. So we'll do it on the dot. Let me get the clock up. Oh, I just did it. Quick!
God.
I had to do it on the. Hang on, hang on. What? Okay. Like if you actually set the clock both times you boot it up. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. But
You
you're
smell
actually
bad.
taking the time. What the
He's
hell?
streaming.
Since when did you get in here?
3 seconds ago.
Okay. I don't have Discord sounds on while I'm streaming, so
I'm guessing. Wait, is this a deluxe version?
yeah. We've already gone through quite a bit of it, although apparently only gotten through half.
Well, I still got a lot more to go, so I guess I'll be staying here for a while.
Wow. Crazy.
Look, I need some background noises while I'm drawing.
I know you care about this experience, you're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. Uh, Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. Alright then. That was random.
I think this is about the part where I remembered from the deluxe version. Yep. Yep, Stanley Parable 2.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. I'll let the end is never the end, is never the end, is never the
It's
end.
never the end. It's never the end. It's never the end. It's never the end.
Never
It's
the end.
never the end.
How long did you,
It's never the end.
went on with that one?
This is the
Not
story
too
of a man
Oh.
named Stanley.
Oh wait, I already heard
Oh
you.
my god, British lied narrator jump scare.
Is it loud?
No.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting
I
room.
need to
Perhaps he had simply
Get
missed a
that
memo.
one.
No matter how
green
hard
thing.
Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-worker.
Oh, you
Stanley
mean
went
input.
around touching every little thing in the office, but it
It's got
didn't make a
sound coming
single
from it.
difference. Nor did it advance the story in any way.
She got that
So,
mouth.
did you check one of the achievements yet on clicking on a door?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
What aspect
Alright.
told me
I
about
pointed out achievements, but I didn't
Right.
tell him like exactly how to do them.
That's a.
it?
Did you do everything with the bucket yet, or?
No.
No, he hasn't.
Oh.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
I have the bucket.
That is a bucket.
God damn.
It's a door.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and
Why is
entered
the
the door on his left.
Sensitivity so freaking fast. I get the freaking.
You
Oh
have
yeah.
bump velocity to 100. Why would you do that?
Yeah, because it's bump.
You can put it higher, can you not?
No. Oh wait.
Yep.
There you go. It's on 1,000. Hell yeah.
Yes, that
What was I
delicious
doing?
viscosity.
Controls. This isn't it. Can I not change the? Oh wait, sensitivity. There we go. Bucket. Whoa. How can we find them? Bottom text. Well, for our updates of the office, we have to synergize our resources to ensure their retrieval. There are so many questions. There was no memo. And how can you tell you spotted one? What makes them float in the air? Who took these pictures of them? I know where one of them is now. These are hard to find. Follow clues. Provided by employee 416. We can do it, Red Room.
One of them is on the toilet. I guess you can say that's a Skibbity Stanley.
Good luck. I think we need to ban this guy.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Mods. Kill him.
Mods, fill
Oh
my
my God.
stocking with coal.
It's Stanley.
Stan.
Give me it. Give me it. Oh no. How do I get it?
Another
Oh.
miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
I don't like that. What about... Didn't they call it Figley downstairs?
Figlies? What?
Figley.
Figgly.
Figurine Stanley.
The figgies.
To be rich, is it a
Figgies.
crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. Does this mean he's rich and he's committing crimes?
What the people aren't. Got a point.
Sure. Ha! Oh. Hey, yeah!
You almost.
Stepping.
Almost.
Get it straight.
You did it.
I wonder what it's like
let's
with the
see.
bucket. Although now I have to go all the way back. That's the completionist instinct.
Whoa, don't let Charlie play this game.
I mean, I've already kind of mostly completed it. There's only one ending I haven't gotten, but that's because I can't be bothered spending 4 hours clicking a button just to work.
Wait.
Why are you like
I can't
this?
close this one. I'm sad.
You have to close all the doors.
It
Oh. Wait.
was darkness.
Ah.
You are now leaving. Bye!
Yippee.
It's pretty much is the same as without the bucket. Just the quiet sounds of the bucket ricketing.
Nothing but a bucket.
I just realized I didn't ask. Does anyone... Can anyone see the stream right now, just in case? Because audios.
Oh, you think? Oh, it's recommend to me right away.
Let's go. I'm just that popular. With my 0 viewers, probably.
0 viewers. Yippee.
Hell yeah.
He's getting fat stacks of that one.
Well, then I can't be a disturbance if there's nobody
Oh my
watching the
God.
stream.
Yeah, well, why do you want to watch
I
that?
would
Look
say
back on it.
I'm probably a bit too loud.
God, Aspect, I'm gonna mute you now. Server mute.
Why? Why are you like this?
Oh, it's just because you need a server mute. It's my server now.
I'm about to demote you.
Alright.
I think the audio is fine.
Although we didn't get any game audio, I just realized. Also, it's dark in here. Oh my god. What? Is it just gonna be the same? Oh my god. Okay, don't say a word. Wipe a tear from you.
What the hell?
You have to be strong, Bucket. You must go without me. Live a long life, Bucket. I love you. Honestly, better story than Twilight.
Jesus Christ.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to
really
go
need
to
to
the
know how
meeting
to
room.
get that
Perhaps he
frickin'
had simply missed a memo.
Thing again. Oh, there it is. Okay. What did I do differently? Also, it's reset.
So next time you restart, you should just try and find it again.
The bucket!
Different.
It's actually gone!
You sent it away, dumbass.
What? How do I get it back?
If I tell you, that would be
don't.
spoilers.
If I tell you, I'd have to kill you.
Stanley went around touching every little
Yes,
thing
I
in the
did.
office,
Bucket
but
is
it
too
didn't make a
powerful for you
single
to
difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
What do I do now?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You left last time. We'll go right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Beautiful.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring.
Yep.
It had really been worth the detour after all.
Okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Wait. This wasn't here
I
before.
don't think you checked down there yet.
Okay.
I don't think you noticed yet.
Penalty for misuse of cargo lift. Penalty for jumping off of the cargo lift. How are you gonna pay that if you're dead?
I was gonna ask the same thing. It's like,
I mean, if
they're
you're
probably
still
gonna
away from the
repo.
hospital.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot
that off
here.
and you
I'm not
somehow
your
extended
enemy, really,
family,
I'm
but-
not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Isn't this the same as what it was?
Yeah, I guess.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this.
I swear
To
to
reach
God,
out.
if it's the exact same.
You know, I can't tell you anything. This is your playthrough.
Oh, Stanley, is that you?
It's the same!
Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting.
It's the same!
I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
You're not real!
Right.
You're not
Okay,
real!
there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your
Shut your goddamn mouth.
Gotcha.
No, you
Oh,
didn't.
come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you?
Who'd wanna
I'm
commit
trying to
their
make a
life to
point here,
you?
Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come
Why are a lot
inside.
of people
Let me
surprised
show
when
you
I'm
what's
looking
really
at them?
going on here.
No! No!
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Yeah, and just restart if you don't want to go through this.
Screw this. I already done this before.
Do it again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
You have some computer.
Stanley
on-
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I saw that meeting. Oh my god, it's back! What was the point of that?
And try not to lose this one too, you dolt.
Aye! Oh, there we go.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to
kinda
his
wanna
chest
see that.
and entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this
Yes.
better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
This is now my room. I will never leave.
I know my attention spans turn bad when
Truly, being here with
my
the bucket
finger
was a grand
instinctively went to
adventure.
the right
Stanley
arrow key
reflected
as
on
if this
all
was
they'd been through
somehow a
together.
YouTube video. I was
First,
trying to skip
walking through
ahead
the door on the
forwards.
right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Man, this video is so
No,
boring.
never mind.
Boring
The bucket
live
was
stream.
wrong. Stanley took the door on his
Watch
left
this Family
to go
Guy.
back
Where's
to
my
the meeting
fucking
room.
Subway Surfers soap carpet?
No,
footage?
said the
Yeah.
bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Go get that Stanley figurine from over there. You can get on the
No, I
railing.
get it. Ah,
There you go. There's also a vent. Is that an Amogus reference?
Oh.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines,
absolute
and now I'm
cheapest
torn
human,
between
I'll be here all evening.
Stanlerines and Figlies.
Yeah,
what do you
that's what I
think,
said.
Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Figurines. Figlies.
I had to call them Stigs.
The Stig?
Stig. Bottom gear reference.
Next time on Bottom Gear. Among Us?
Huh?
Hell am I? Why does this look so much like Portal?
Maybe
Oh, I
it is
think.
Portal.
Have you seen this one?
I don't think so.
I can't remember. I can't remember which ones you've done.
What did I just do?
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down, it doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Excuse me?
Lovecraftian horror bucket.
It's turned into a horror game pretty quickly.
Holy crap! I didn't know this was made by H.P. Lovecraft. Don't look up his cat's name.
All
Whatever
of his
you
co-workers
do.
I
were
was trying to
gone.
figure out a more
What could it
clever
mean?
way of bringing that
Stanley
up.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No. Just don't bring it.
Fun
Don't look it up.
Fun fact, did you know that H.P.
Warmth
Lovecraft was
spread
so
through
racist
Stanley's
that
arms.
the KKK
With the bucket in his
thought
arms
that having
again,
him
he was
associated
home.
with them was a bad look.
Jesus
What?
Christ.
I don't think you should mention any of those things while streaming.
Oh,
Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek.
Or
Could his
demonetize
co-workers
them.
really all be gone?
And it wasn't monetized to begin with. I'm banned. Just straight up banned. Where is that frickin'... I need to put the input.
Somewhere.
That guy's playing solitaire still.
Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch, but it did little to discourage Stanley's belief in the magic of the bucket.
What do I do? What?
Yeah, don't worry, it's not in that office. It's go up to the boss's office.
Gotcha.
It's like the computer outside of it. Remember that one?
Nope, but I'll go there.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Oh wait, I just remember something. Do it next time.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
This one. Oh, I can open this. Where's this? Oh, panda.
What is?
Well, honestly, they kill themselves anyway, so that doesn't matter.
Guess you're not wrong.
See if they've changed anything with this.
To quote Caustic from Apex Legends, I won't apologize for expediting the inevitable.
What? There you go.
Oh yeah!
Get jiggy with it.
Oh wait, I got a freaking copyright thing for this last time. Never mind.
Aww.
I
Damn, you
literally
should have
got
done
a copyright thing.
Aww.
It wasn't like bad.
Stepping
It was
into
still-
his manager's office, Stanley was once
Something.
again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional
It's already
dumpster
done.
fire, if not for the soothing
8.
presence of the bucket.
8.
Even now,
8.
in his darkest
8.
of hours, did the bucket's
8.
warmth and guiding light
8.
pierce the dark clouds of
Ah.
confusion and chaos. It would be with him, always.
8.
The bucket would. And
Wait, what
he
did he
knew
say?
it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so
Said you
absorbed in
turned
the
love
tender
into a
spiritual
wedding.
connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Oh, I did it wrong. Oh, and I didn't do it wrong. What if I just not do it? Will the bucket save me? Also, these look like they fit in Skyrim.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Exactly. How am I supposed to know that? Alright, bucket, play a song for me.
2845.
Narrator's
Du-du-du-du.
getting the business.
My favorite.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
I like the... For God! Okay.
Well, whoop-dee-doo.
Bucket. Have you ever seen the most funniest thing in the world?
Oh no.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate.
You should go
It
back
would
up
be
again.
all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Big bucket.
Motherfucker, where can I get an emotional support bucket?
He's mine.
There's
You
only
can't
one
have him.
world.
Big bucket. Funniest thing in the world right here.
The bucket says you should go up again.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again.
Oh,
The bucket said nothing.
I said that. Wow, bucket. Why the silent treatment?
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Fine. Bucket, why are you not saying anything? You're not being a very
Perhaps
good
the
sport.
bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Yeah.
Go back up, try again. Maybe the bucket will feel something this time.
No, you know what, bucket? You gotta figure this out.
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
My heart. After I sent you off on your own, this is how you repay me. Look.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears, and the whole time he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only
Can't believe when
silence.
you pressed the 5.
Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
Bucket, why? I thought what we had was special.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
Think about it, bucket. You got number 1, you got number 2, and this is a higher one, number 3. And since everything's in 3s, we're gonna do this again.
I mean, hey, third time's the charm. The end is never the end. It's never the end. It's never the
Said
end.
Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work.
All Alright, time to
For
talk
months,
about the
he
number
advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been
Was that a
for
Minecraft door
anything in
sound?
his life.
Every single time I
Yes.
get really confused. And it's literally the... Okay.
Oh my god.
3.
3.
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved
The
one.
walls are eyeballs.
Kind of.
3. Man, I prefer the number 8.
8.
There was no
8.
one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means
I
to
wondered.
press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure, and in that moment Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
I didn't see this coming. Two can be as bad as one, but the loneliest number is the number 3.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
more.
he had simply missed a memo.
So, since the bucket has betrayed me once again.
No.
What?
What happens if you meet your wife with a bucket?
Okay, but I want to see one thing without the bucket first.
Alright. Assuming you had one anyway. The wife, I mean.
Why does it sometimes do this?
I don't know.
When Stanley came to a set of two open... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
What's in here? I didn't
Stanley
see
had
this
now
before.
gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
How is this my fault? But who was phone?
Alright, can you call your wife with the bar?
Ah! Flashbang! What the hell
My goodness. It's all buttons.
is this? I now
What?
understand.
Press them, so. Press them!
I can't press them. I can't press any of them.
You can press it.
Oh, wait, I can press them.
Yes, so. Press them! Press them!
What? Oh my god. I can turn them off.
God, he's going to try and do all of them.
Yes, I am going to try and do all of them. How did you know? Let me turn you off.
Insert
okay.
the Sisyphus meme here.
Okay.
How long are we going to be here waiting for the turn?
Oh, they turned back on. That's sad. How do I leave?
You don't. You're trapped here now, so we're in heaven.
That is a red ass screen. Holy crap. What?
Red.
Oh, God. I'm
There's
getting
too
a
many
remix of
buttons.
that.
I was spoiled with choice there.
Don't, not again. Not again.
Damn it. It worked.
My God, the bumpscosity in here is absolutely overwhelming. 1,000?
Yeah.
You people have got to be nuts. How
They're
can you
fucking
stand this
rave
much
music.
bumpscosity?
Yeah.
No, it's just Tammy music.
Just elevator music.
Copyright and elevator music.
Oh,
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never
Go
be
have
alone
fun.
again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around.
Go home with a bucket.
Stanley
Call your
clutched the
wife.
bucket tightly to his chest. This was
Yeah.
not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk.
Buckets
but
can't
Stanley
talk?
chose not to think about this obvious fact. But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
yeah.
Oh, excuse you.
Got scared, okay?
All
I
of his
didn't expect it
co-workers
to
were
talk.
gone. What could it mean?
The end is
Stanley
never
decided to
end
go
is
to the
never-
meeting
The
room.
end is
Perhaps
never
he had
the
simply
end, is
missed a
never the
memo.
end, is never the
No
end,
matter
is
how
never the
hard
end,
Stanley
is never
looked,
the end,
he couldn't
never
find
the
a
end,
trace of his
never the end,
co-workers.
Never the end, never the end, never the end.
The good old bucket.
The end
Just
is-
Stanley and the bucket.
Never the
Off
end.
on another thrilling adventure together.
The end is never the end.
Stanley
never the
clutched
end,
the bucket
never
tightly
the
to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
I'll try
And here
and-
it was. Had the bucket turned out
Try
to
and
be
stop
correct?
myself
Was
this
no,
time.
never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No.
It's
said the
talking again.
bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do. Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Yes, I do what the bucket tells me
Bucket
to.
speaks many words.
In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here. Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Yeah.
Unplug it, so
Now
unplug
pick up
it,
the
unplug
phone,
it, unplug it.
said the
Unplug
bucket.
it.
Never.
Pick up the
I
phone,
must
and
not.
it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Oh dear God, what have we done?
This is the sad story of a man
Oh.
named Stanley and his bucket.
Oh, it's sad.
Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Okay. Ooh. Looks nice in here. Let me close the door. Can't close the door. Never mind. Hey there, bucket. Ready for sexy time?
No.
Oh, Stanley, it's me, your bucket. Press P to have sex.
No.
The Stanley Parable
I can
Reassurance
already
Bucket was
hear
merely
the
meant to
noises of
provide the
metal
comforting glow of
flatterings.
companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you
Like
orders.
I
Whatever
didn't
Stanley is hearing the
press
bucket say to him is
Impact
just in his head.
noises.
Oh, God. God. I forgot I had something metal here. Oh, there it is. Hey.
Oh no.
You come here often? Because I do every single day, actually.
You're.
Alright.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Can't you tell we're in love?
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it.
That's all you
It doesn't
need.
do anything else.
That's all you need in life.
I mean, have you considered that it can also transfer solids?
No, okay,
Considering,
that's
like,
going a bit too far.
gravel or sand.
That's going a bit too far.
Can it transfer plasma?
I don't
Not
think
to
so.
my knowledge.
Exactly.
Don't listen to the loud man. It's easy for us to go back home.
to the British man.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from, me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket, this stupid hunk of metal.
Just are to ignore anyone in your life except for me. Well, I'm muting Discord.
So, what have you
Sad.
done?
I suppose he doesn't
This
need
was
me
not the
anymore.
path I asked
From now
you.
on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Yes, it does. Bucket PC. PC with the bucket on his head. Believe
The-
him or don't you,
I
Stanley?
guess I can say it cut the BC.
What?
The book.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more,
My favourite
what
show.
am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
And to relive this same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
It is so much more than just a regular bucket. You don't understand. Press N to go home to work to home to work to home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings. The bucket.
No!
No.
You're not allowed feelings.
What's going on? Why do I
my
want to
bucket.
be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing.
No,
yes,
you're not allowed it.
The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
No! But oh my.
Guy.
Bow, chicka, wow, wow. Chicka, wow, wow.
That many candles is a fire hazard.
True.
God.
No, I think it's safe. As a person who has candles, I think this is not enough. You need more candles.
Getting lit in here.
Stanley, give me the bucket.
Yep.
Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley.
No, it's mine.
I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
Ah. What if I don't want it? Well, that was...
You should probably unplug it next time.
Let's go!
Oh.
What if you take the bucket?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Excuse you.
Yeah.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh? Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
No! I'm not playing your game anymore, silly man.
Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek.
Getting out of here.
Could his co-workers really all be gone? Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
Oh my god, are
The
you an
bucket
anime
began to
girl?
tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed,
Be an
desecrating the
anime girl.
land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest
anime
justice
girl.
where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see
I've
one's
lost
dreams
interest.
and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley. What are you talking about? He
Oh my
screamed.
god.
You're a bucket! To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
What brow?
No, said the bucket. Not since the evil wizard Gambhorata
What?
first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No! Stanley screamed even louder this time. This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this? As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like...
Oh my god!
My god, Stanley.
Oh my god!
You did it. You saved us from the bucket.
No!
You already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game,
Yes,
and we'll
let's
agree to
do
never
that.
again go trifling with this bucket,
I'm gonna
nor
instantly
the
go
dark
trifling with the
magic
bucket.
cast away inside of it.
Yeah,
My
maybe I should
God.
unplug it. You should probably unplug the phone this time after all that.
Never. That's now going to be the
All
last
of
thing
his
I do. You
co-workers were
told me to do
gone.
it.
What could it mean?
Aww.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he
What?
had simply missed a memo.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's funky. Wait. Huh? Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Fuck it.
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction.
Yes.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
What do you want me
Stanley
to
took the door on his
do?
left
Psych!
to go back to, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Oh.
You destroyed.
Oh, good Stanley, I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see,
adventure
your
line
friends and
from the
I are
baby.
concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much.
My wife.
It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who
Well,
gave
that's
you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Oh. You smell.
I wonder what that baby's up to. now.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Oh my god.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all
That's
about.
it.
Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Whoa, you don't need to remind me of that
It's as
part.
classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley.
I don't remember
Let's get
that
them
one.
more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Isn't this just untextured? Okay.
Basically.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
No.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
Cupcakes?
Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket. and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Oh,
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the bucket destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Okay. Why'd you have to flashbang me?
That's a very good question.
The
Why
Bucket
is it playing
Destroyer,
Halo
my
music?
prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spell-binding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
I think only you think that, narrator.
How could you do this so?
What, did you like the Bucket Destroyer?
The
course I
Bucket
did.
Destroyer is the narrator's special Don't Steal OC.
It's got layers and layers of lore on top of that OC.
Exactly.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the direct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
What you
Stanley
want,
took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I don't think he has processed that I've jumped down here.
That's a door.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly.
My guy, I know what
So
bucket
much
is.
of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
You're just gonna take away my bucket, aren't you? No, no, no. Is this a bucket?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
No, that's not. No. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it, but
No.
Correct.
Oh.
It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
This is a lie. I was freaking sorry. Move.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
I don't think it is.
I mean, it could be a trick question, but
No, it's not a bucket. It's not a bucket.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation
Yeah,
of
yeah,
a
of
bucket,
course, yeah.
not an actual bucket.
Yeah, but that still makes it a bucket, my guy. It's just made out of something else.
I mean, 3D printed is not a real
Item
bucket.
3. Is this a bucket?
100% that is a bucket.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Damn, I'm good at this.
Item 4.
What?
Is this a bucket?
It's totally a bucket.
That is not a bucket.
Don't think it's a bucket.
I don't think that's a bucket either.
I mean, it could be.
No.
Now that I think about it.
I mean, it
can
can
still
hold water.
move volumes of water or liquid.
Yeah, that's
It's
true,
definitely
but
a bucket. Oh, what?
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's
Oh,
an
it's
enormous
not. It's a
machine that
bucket.
tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
No, that is a bucket. I don't care what you say.
okay,
Is
no,
this
that
a
one's a
bucket?
bucket. Yeah, that one's
Definitely
a
a
bucket.
bucket.
Yeah, that one's a bucket.
That one's a bucket. Why is the music remind me of fucking, you know, the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire one?
Who wants to be a bucket? I'm gonna go with my gut feeling and say this is a bucket.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
This is a
Hell
bucket.
yeah. Hell yeah. I don't. How?
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
How?
Huh?
Well.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere.
You... Want me...
Yeah, that's a bucket.
No,
That's a
I
bucket.
will not. I will not let you.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh.
There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless...
sure?
Is that what you think?
Sure.
Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
Yes. Everything is a bucket.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Oh my god.
You hold
Stanley,
Yes.
I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid
You're
the
a
bucket
bucket.
is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game
You're gonna
entirely.
remove the entire game.
Okay, here we go.
Oh. Well.
What
That's an-
happened?
that's an Nintendo
Is everything
Switch.
gone?
I told
Why did
you.
everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my god, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful
Not yet.
news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at
You mean
ease
by
right now.
that?
It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into
Exactly.
anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Yeah, that's quite dangerous information. There's a lot of buckets, and I'm getting confused. Oh my god, it's a bucket.
It's a bucket. It's a bucket.
It's a beautiful
It's
bucket.
another bucket. More buckets.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
all the
decided to go
buckets
to
were
the
gone.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh my god. It's a 3D
That's a
print of a
tractor.
bucket.
No, that's a tractor.
The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was.
what I
Had the
even asked you
bucket
to
turned
do.
out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley
yeah,
took
what's
the
the
door
phone?
on his left
You fool!
to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
You thought I was gonna go with your plan. What kind of simpleton do you think I am?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Yes,
Yes. This is certainly the most logical explanation.
I said that.
Stanley and the bucket
Yeah.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read,
No.
Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
There's no way that I would
The
meet a
door
violent
behind them
death.
was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
No.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
How are we supposed to know that? See, it looks very inviting down here. Ah! Oh my god, it's Portal. Oh my god, it's Half-Life.
Oh my god, it's
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Okay.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed
The bucket,
violently
not
to
mine.
death.
No.
It was a
Very
shame,
terrible.
the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest.
It's so
It was a
bright.
glorious bucket to behold.
Oh my god. At a study of the precipice of knowledge, much like the bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within, a cavernous void. With the use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? Oh my god.
Can you
Where's my
see how
bucket?
arrogant it was
Oh,
for
there's a
Stanley
bucket.
to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own?
No,
Can
it's
you
mine.
see the hubris that blinded him?
No.
Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
How dare you? God. A bucket with two handles. This bucket is depicted as having two handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting.
I'm pretty sure that's a reference to Da Vinci's diagram of the Vitruvian man.
Yeah. Look, a bucket. My god. 25 buckets. Photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photograph
1, 2,
experience.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
There's a lot
12,
more than
13,
25.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19,
Yeah.
20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41,
Oh my
42,
god.
43, 44, 45, 46, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. Damn it.
There you go. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to the many buckets at once. Jesus.
That's more than 25. That's like 100 buckets. I think people would have been dead.
Yeah, they just died before they got to any higher number. Inferno bucket. A replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war, with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains, no one can control a bucket. Bucket, look at how cool it is.
An
Epic
ancient
it
bucket.
Stress analogy. Yeah, the stress bucket and analogy. Worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, lack of reassurance. Stress equals the level of water in the bucket. Vulnerability equals size and strength of the bucket. Coping strategies equals holes. God, rest and relaxation, doing something you enjoy, and rest and relaxation. That's some good sound advice there.
That's horrible advice. Oh my god.
They even had buckets in freaking prehistoric times.
Oh, what? That's a meme reference on the top right.
How is that a meme reference?
Oh, the frame from Bug's Life.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, what's one Bug's
Bug's
Life?
Life with the ant with the stick
Yeah, with
and
the
bag
ant.
over its shoulder.
Jesus Christ. Cave drawing. Well, we know that many buckets predate the existence of mankind. We do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Oh my god. The bucket is so kind.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However, clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. Give me the bucket! Wait. I can fly. Give me the bucket.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game.
No.
Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their
No, it's my
treatment as
bucket.
tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader,
No.
as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Oh, it's right! I think I dyed it. There it goes. There's the bucket gone.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I didn't know we
Stanley
had
decided to
GLaDOS
go
in
to the
here.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, good. It's still working.
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very
I'm
lucky
surprised there's no Porter
indeed.
references in this game. It looks so similar.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes, good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket. Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken
the
quicker?
part after this.
Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
Oh, yeah.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies?
Wait,
And
what
more
was that last
importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name.
I gotta be standing
Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny with the funny.
Good.
This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys.
Oh my
Collecting
god.
hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threatens our very existence, and to very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and the earth reign supreme. Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
What the hell?
Oh, that was so good. That was worth it.
I really want to see him. I really want to hear him say "Daddy" with the funny.
I hope so.
Feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure.
The funny.
The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
I feel like you're overthinking it already.
I'm Danny with the funny. Oh, that was worth it.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Oh, okay.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Okay. Wait, hold up. What the hell?
What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There were supposed to be several rooms leading up to this.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be a build-up to this point. A dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing.
Did you have it in the first place?
I'm not even the lowliest joke.
I'm pretty sure that goes to German.
I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again.
Jim Carr.
Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
Well...
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar. No. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos.
You would have been the king of comedy if you said, I'm done with the funny.
Narrator, you're wrong. For comedy, all you need is this.
Well, you can't. Well, Soul
I'm
can't hear
guessing
it,
he
so
put on
comedy is horrible.
soundboard.
Yes. You see, the comment.
A soft
the
wind
joke is
blew
ruined
outside and perhaps
because
rain
the Soul
started.
is deaf.
And if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
By the way, that ending without the bucket was really sad. It made me very sad.
It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I need to find them. Where are they all?
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
One more sticker.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Yeah.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here.
Yeah.
So they set up a little couch and relaxed.
Oh.
It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis.
Paninis? Oh, give me one.
But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket
Yeah.
sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
Is that it? Well then. That was...
All of his
Quite really
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
I'm
he had
not
simply
sure which
missed a
ones I'm
memo.
missing now.
Would you land the void without the bucket yet?
Yeah. I've done pretty much... I think I've done all of them without the bucket. I just can't remember which ones I haven't done with the bucket. I used to get all
Have
the
you-
figurines. The figlies.
Get all the figurines? Or figures?
I don't know where they all are.
I know. I remember one of them was behind a staircase.
I think I've got that one.
Soul, you just need to look
Oh.
really hard.
I've
I
got
think
that
I know
one.
where it is. Which one you're missing?
I think I'm missing 2 or something. I can't see.
Yeah, you're missing 2. Okay.
I don't know which ones I'm missing. Or which endings I'm missing. You having fun there? Yeah?
Wait, I think he's trying to communicate in Morse code where it is.
Up your ass. God damn it, Bendy.
You know when
I can't think of anywhere.
You went to the bathroom, right?
Yep. I've gone the
Went
bathroom.
under the
one.
stairs.
What?
You went under the stairs.
Yep, I went under the stairs.
You went on the warehouse.
Yep, I went in that on that little place in the warehouse. And apparently I have 4, so I got another one. Oh wait, that's from the freaking
You find the one in the boss's office.
in the boss's office.
Well, there's one like just past the door.
I don't think I have.
Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace, protective.
I
yet
also think I
delicate,
know a
assertive,
ending.
yet compact. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yes, I know.
Coming to a staircase,
Done that one.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Done that one. The one here. No. What do you mean? Oh wait, you
Stepping
were
into his
there.
manager's
Oh, I
office,
think I've
Stanley
already
was
done that
once
one.
again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Yeah. Yeah, it was around here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, yawn, you're gonna make me yawn.
Stanley and the
Only
bucket
ending I
walked
can
straight
think
ahead
of.
through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Got the one in the sequel exhibit?
What?
The lights rose
You know, the
on an
sequel
enormous
thing?
room
I'm pretty
packed with
sure that's
television
the
screens.
first
What
place
horrible
where you get
secret
it.
did this place
Yeah.
hold? Stanley and the bucket
Oh.
both wondered to
You
themselves.
still have it even after restarting it.
Think so?
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything
why did
like
I
this, and it very
boxing
nearly
green
burst
things
into
in
tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
And I've got kryptonite in the boxes.
Well, I think
Was
there's
the
probably
bucket under
one
the
you're missing,
mind control
that's the
facility's
one
influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't
That
wish
one
to do?
place you never fucking
What
check.
kinds of things does a bucket
Oh,
want
yeah,
to
that tells
do
me a lot.
or not want to do in the first
Does tell
place?
you a lot.
These
Hardly ever go
questions
there, you
raced
forget about it.
furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Yeah, check that one place you haven't checked yet.
Exactly.
No! He screamed into the bucket.
You know where
he
the
couldn't
red and
accept
blue
it.
doors are?
His own life in someone else's control. Never!
Red and blue
He
doors.
squeezed the bucket tighter. His
Oh,
one
that
friend
one.
in the
Oh,
entire
I don't
world.
remember which path
At this
that
point,
take.
he could trust no one except
And you just
Oh,
jump
no, I've
down
been there.
the cargo lift.
I've been there with the bucket.
But here
I
was
don't
the
think
show
you
the
proof,
red
can
and
figure
the
it out.
heart of the operation. Controls labeled with
That's if you
emotions,
don't bring the
happy
bucket.
or sad or content.
Try that
Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert it.
On.
But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror.
Bucket,
Had this
what are you
been the
doing?
bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds.
What?
Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Silly bird.
Oh my god, silly birds.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it
Penguin.
dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live
Oh my
streams
God, that's
of the silliest birds imaginable.
That's a pigeon.
Of all the
Duck.
possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best.
Silly
And
bird.
Stanley was happy.
Silly bird. Silly
Oh my God.
birds.
My god. What was that baby eating
No.
its mother's face?
Not the silly birds.
Well, no more silly birds.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
Can't.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
Oh. Really, that's it?
He's just
wrong
fed
with
up
it?
at this point.
Yeah.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten
missed the
about.
jump.
Please. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler Anlarines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one.
What?
And then the first number
The
will equal the
Figler
second number, and
Anlarines.
that will be it. We'll be
That's so
different
weird.
people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler Anlarines. None of us can.
Figler Anlarines.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
So what else do I have to do? How do I find the last one?
Well, I've already told you all the locations. I think one of them you're missing, and you haven't actually gotten it at all.
You ain't told me all the locations. I already done one of the locations. Well, all of the locations. How do I go back to the new content place if it's not there anymore?
There's one sequel. There's one in the large warehouse place. There's one under the stairs. There's one where we already went. There's one in the boss's office. We got that one. There's one in the bathroom. So you're missing one of those.
Have I somehow missed the one in the sequel thing?
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, I already got this. There you go.
And there it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Okay. All done.
GG, he completed the game. Maybe, I don't know.
Game? Why does it take so long to load? Right.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those Figlers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
The memory zone when Stanley found the collectibles. Hmm. 2014 Independent Games Festival. Wow, audience reward. Stanley Powell.
This is truly a Stanley parable.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
You want it. It's mine. I got 7 out of 6.
That's good.
I'm balling.
And here was the second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own just by poking around behind the boss's office. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Yeah, I surprise you with my asking for backseating sometimes.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
Boss's bathroom. Right? Pretty sure it was.
Hey, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
It was here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Is
I
it?
never forget my third time. Not my first time, my third time.
Let's see, what came
Do
next?
you remember your third and
Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I
What?
remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
I don't remember this place, but I'll take his word for it.
This is a very pink room.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was by the red and blue doors. I remember it so clearly. In fact,
Yep.
because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Oh
Let's
my
go.
god.
Oh my god. Oh!
Oh my god.
The editing!
This is better than your editing.
Hey!
Music by the narrator.
Whoa!
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on
Yeah, 8
anything
minutes.
else.
That's a lot of time.
Too much time, honestly. Where am I going?
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here, under the stairs. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Yeah. Right in the
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Oh. That's it?
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Oh,
Okay, yes,
God.
that spot under the stairs. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind.
I wonder
Let's
why.
keep going. I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
love that
God.
video.
Truly a fascinating video.
Still
The
don't
best
remember
video.
the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Yeah, if it was a liquid room, then we'll be drowning.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one. This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figlarines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Like them all.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how... Oh, yes! The two doors! Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. You can't remember anything. Yes, I'm remembering something now.
Okay.
I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Ah. Well, there we go.
Are you done yet? That's the question.
I think I'm done.
Sorry to
Wait,
break
you-
it to you, you're not.
Did you went to play through the Steam reviews?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
But there's like secret thingy you haven't done yet.
Thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe.
I think that might be a good thing to end it on, though. If I want to, I could go back and frickin' all the secret stuff.
Well, it's not really just like a secret Easter egg thing. It's like an actual, like, secret kind of ending.
Do you want me to?
Dating. But
I
it
can.
involves the thing at the start. You see at the start of the game. Like, that is basically its own character.
What?
The clock. The clock soul.
Yeah.
Not that clock.
All of his
In order
co-workers
to
were...
get, you'll have
Wait,
to restart
no.
the game a few times.
This isn't the right office, is it?
Have interaction.
Is this Stanley's office?
Oh.
Set the time, soul.
Oh. Well.
I'm trying to be vague about it because I don't want to spoil like what happens.
Set the time, soul.
Can I just
You
do it
must sit. No, you can't.
here?
Set the time, soul. Hello, Sky.
You streaming, don't see anything, bud.
You joined at the moment where we were about to finish.
Well then.
Well, we've got one more thing to do and then we're done.
Set the time, soul. Set the time.
Alright. Is there any specific time I've got to set it to? Or can I just set
No.
the time that
No.
I want?
Anything.
I like it to be.
9:59.
I want it to
There's no-
be 7:02. No reason why. I don't know why. Favorite time of day? Simply not resist giving me the correct time again. After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. Okay, now I'm curious how accurate 7:02 AM is. Let's use another slider to find out. How accurate is it? It's inaccurate.
It's accurate.
It's actually very inaccurate. I think it's the opposite. Well, not too opposite. So I'll do it a little bit. There you go. You know, can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's good to collect data. I wish we had more sliders. We've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, let me whip a couple of new ones up. Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. God damn you!
So is this like some oh, it's Stanley Parable.
The moment he saw the title, he knew.
Ow.
Come on, so boot out the game, so boot out the game.
Alright. Next. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. Please adjust the slider until the dog and cat are friends. Ah, well, that's a little bit too close. You're friends. Adjust slider until the number 5 becomes the number 9.
No, wait, no, go
That's
back.
9.
That's a 9. That was another 9.
Right, no, a little bit forward.
Oh my god, don't.
Yeah, oh shit, you.
No, a bit.
Oh,
They're
the command
playing.
symbol.
9. You adjust slider until you stop adjusting slider.
What if you just like don't adjust it at all though? Like, hear me out.
I'm gonna keep adjusting it.
It's a nice slider, that is.
It needs to be right here.
That's a pretty wet spot.
Which one of the
What?
two made-up words below is most appealing to you?
Scrumtush.
Occuboinkle
Scrumtush.
or scrumtush?
Occuboinkle. No, I feel kind of
Scrumtush.
occuboinkle. I'll go with
Yes.
occuboinkle.
Occuboinkle, that's probably like poking the eye or something.
Occuboinkle sounds like a octopus Pokemon.
You know what this sounds like? This sounds like what a British person would say.
Hey. Right, mate.
Scrumtush.
I'll freaking whack you in your scrumtush.
Exactly.
I'm going to oinkle boinkle you.
Scrumtush.
I'm gonna yoinky sploinky you. Right in the
Come
middle.
on, Scrumtush. What?
Please don't adjust the slider.
Well, if it tells you not to adjust it, you just gotta. Okay.
You know what time it is now? Not
No.
really, but sure. Is the time that is right now the correct time?
No.
What?
Maybe.
No.
I mean,
Maybe.
possibly.
I mean, like, every second that passes, it's no longer the correct time.
No. I said yes.
Every 60 second
What
passes.
is time anyway?
I mean,
Time
passes.
is
It's not
no.
a yes or no question.
Yes.
Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? Yes. Help. Oh,
No.
get your
No.
own.
Yeah. Good job.
Will you come back to visit me? No.
No. Literally no.
The end. Hold
Well,
on.
it's time to revisit him.
And I said
So what
no.
is Stanley Parable? What is the Stanley Parable about? I forgot.
You have to revisit them, so.
Being Stanley.
Exactly. Being Stanley and working in an office and being Stanley. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never
And
the
having
end,
a
is never the
DM
end.
that just dictates your life.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
You can stop.
Oh.
What's the aim of the game? Is it to try and recreate Stanley, or
Does anyone really truly know?
It's just to give players an immersing experience about the stories and crap.
Of course they don't.
And a lot of
Nobody knows
humor.
anything.
Real life humor. They
Yeah, I
had
don't even-
actually no, I wouldn't say anything.
You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I've adjusted all of the game's settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do, like a day job. Now, the job is over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you that I can. I still don't really know you. You don't know me. Neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettable.
Ow.
My ears! And if I'm being totally honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. You're gonna have me here when the game starts next time, but that's okay. Video games are meant to be played alone. You like being alone, don't you? Maybe the only information I really learned about you. Oh, it's time for me to leave. There's still one more setting that we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. Not really in my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again if you can find me. Talk soon. The end!
Revisit him. Epilogue.
Epilogue. Oh god. How
Well,
long
you
have
know what
been?
that means.
oh, there's no the end, man.
You know what that means.
Say fish.
The end. Oh, fuck. The end is never the end.
You know what that means. Fish.
Fish. The end is never the end, is never the end.
You know what that means. Fish orgy.
What?
That's what that is a reference to. We're surrounded by fish. Horny fish.
Oh.
You know what that means. Fish orgy.
You know, I didn't think an office job would start in the desert or on the moon.
This is Mars.
Mars is red.
This is Mars 2. It wasn't already.
This is Mars 2.
Mars 2.
Mars 2.
Electric Boogaloo. Oh.
Well, there's your office chair.
Sit on it.
You're just on another moon.
You're on Moon 2.
This is the first day of experimentation.
Oh, okay, it's Mars now.
Now it's Mars.
Not the chair, no.
Chairs are dead.
Everyone's huddled together for warmth.
Such beautiful music. It's blowing my ears.
I love this music!
Safe to say, I think that's sand.
What?
I want to turn around.
What if you do turn around? Well, he died.
Oh, hey. It's
That's
a
just
square.
giant monitor.
I'm a
Oh,
wanderer.
behind you.
I'm a wanderer. Wander around, 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 around.
Oh!
That's a generator. And
It's a triangle.
Wait,
Oh! Go to it, Soul.
walk to it.
Go to it.
Yeah.
Go to
Go
it.
to it. No,
Go
go
to
to
Walk
it.
to it.
Go to it.
It'll have like $5,000. It's Mr. Beast.
Go to it, Soul.
It opens Mr. Beast!
This is something you've all been waiting for. This is something you've always wanted in your life. This is something you've always wanted.
I know what it is.
It's just a light.
It's
Oh.
Bucket! I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life.
It is a bucket. It is the bucket. The shiniest shine I've ever seen.
Property of Stanley.
Me.
You know, I think it needs a
Alright.
third sticker.
Honestly, yeah.
Oh my god, we're finally gonna play the Stanley Parable 2.
I already played it.
He already
No, this is where
did.
the game starts.
Damn.
No, that's where
That was
Stanley
all an
Parable 3
epilogue.
starts.
Huh.
Huh?
Cookie 9.
Oh my
blog.
god!
Review, The Stanley Parable 2. Like so many, I enjoyed my time with the original Stanley Parable, which underscores how truly disappointed I am with its sequel. Where the first game teamed with originality, the Stanley Parable 2 is
we've
dull,
seen this.
uninspired, and often insulted to its fan base.
Okay.
Rather than, shit.
We already seen that.
Oh, second one. We gotta read it.
What is this?
Oh! Jim.
Jim.
Stanley.
All of them.
But some of them aren't lighting up.
They don't want.
Jim.
Just like them.
Jim.
Just keep pressing the gems.
There's
You-
more
you'll
of
get
So we
more
gotta read
Jim.
that review.
No spin-offs,
Stanley
no
Parable
more
developers, no more
sequels.
spin-offs,
No.
no more sequels.
Where is it?
Press the gem, so.
More Jim. Move on.
He's gonna go work.
More gems.
God fucking
More
damn it.
gems. Aspect, it's not
Yeah.
happening.
Jim.
Better not be an Easter egg. We're just
Oh.
pressing all the Jim buttons.
Oh.
Oh.
It's me.
I think you're Jim. See? It just hits better, you know? Well, that's kind of pretty.
Oh my god, look at all these. Give me a roll.
Collect them.
What? 21 out of huh?
Yeah.
26 out of.
How many guys the hole? Oh, it's not the hole.
Huh?
It's not a hole.
Look at
That's
that!
like
Look at that! Whoa, oh, that's a cubicle.
No, my bucket. Hello again.
Hello again.
Nice to see you. But it's terrible to learn that there will never be another Stanley Parable game. Did you read what the developers said? Preserve the integrity of the franchise. What nonsense! Stanley Parable is not scared. We do not need to protect it.
Sacred.
Wait, what the hell?
It said sacred, not scared.
Wait, someone in my chat just said we love Jim.
You're streaming this on YouTube?
Yes!
Bro was about to say something again, cancelled.
Guys, I think you just found out.
Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Someone, yes, someone.
Let's run this franchise into the ground. Let's drag it through the mud and back.
Gross. And if people hate it, who cares? You see, that was the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his work. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy. Let it burn. Not hard. In fact, let me show you. Together, we are going to make the Stanley Parable 3. Oh god.
Fuck.
Let's go.
A whole new game, let's go! It's simple. All we do is change the number in the game's title screen. We also need a really dumb subtitle for the game. Something loud and gaudy. Go ahead, try combining some random words together to make a new title for our game.
Baby.
Stanley's
tiny scorpion.
Stanley's tiny tax disc.
Legend of Tuesday.
Legend of mind control.
Legend of fire. That.
Lavish Tuesday.
The sun is a deadly laser.
The sun is a deadly laser.
Baby Tuesday.
Stanley's tiny tax disc. That's gonna be it.
Yeah, I fuck with that.
Absurd. I love it. Every time you restart the game, we'll advance the number of the sequel by 1, and we'll pick a new subtitle. That way, the Stanley Parable will never end, and nothing in the game itself will change when you do this either. Adding more content sounds like work. No need to do that. It'll just be the same content, recycled again and again and again, with a new title screen. What do you say? Should we go forward with this plan? I like it, but I want you to have a say as well.
No.
Do it.
We hate it.
Let's do it.
Everyone hates it. Okay.
Good. Then it's agreed. A new sequel every time you start the game. And you know what? Since you've put faith in my idea, I feel like giving you something as well. You see, I'm noticing that the narrator never found a way to give you the broken achievement, did he? Of course not. I wouldn't expect him to know how. It's been bothering me. Let's fix it. Alright, there. The achievement sheet is all fixed. You see, I'm on your side. We're in this together. Gonna keep this train rolling. Stanley Parable cannot end.
Oh my god, he needs to get the achievement.
It can only spiral in on itself forever. I must keep the wheel turning. I'm ready. Are you ready? Great. There's only one last thing we need to do. Please enter the current time. Oh crap!
10:55 a.m.
It's
5 to 9.
8.
Damn you.
There we go.
The computer? There's no computer.
Thank you. Please enjoy the Stanley Parable. Oh my god. Stanley tiny tactic. Oh my god!
Oh my god.
God damn. Alright, we gotta get that achievement.
Make sure to reboot the game so you can get Stanley Parable 4.
Oh no! Make sure to
Dude.
keep booting up until he gets Stanley
All of his
Parable.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Make sure to
Stanley
keep
decided
restarting
to
the
go
game
to the
so you
meeting
can
room.
get Stanley
Perhaps he had
Parable
simply
100
missed a
before anyone
memo.
else.
Everyone is dead.
Yeah. The end.
This is never
Are
the
you sure?
end. This is never the end. This is never the end. This is never the end.
Hey, if you take out the words never, if you take out the word never, then it just says the end is the end. So therefore, it's the end.
You see, Stanley,
The
I've
end
been
is the end is
reflecting
the
on
end
the
is the
Stanley
end is the end
Parable
is the end
and
is
about
the
how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned
Okay.
out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark.
Okay.
And any new content for it should live up to that leg. So forget this ultra
that leg.
deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Go, 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 go. I got
Yes,
speed run
you
this.
see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel.
Oh, yeah, I'm
An
pretty sure if
entirely new experience, built from the ground up.
So you should
Why
get
there are so
Stanley
many
Parable 8.
possibilities? It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Gore. Oh.
Oh, so I don't think you bought the bucket with the bucket.
Achievement.
Free new plus easy achievement. It just works. That's a steal.
It didn't work.
What?
We finally
Now,
got it back,
here's something
though.
special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. As you can see, the machine is not working yet since... What? Wait. What in the holy hell is going on? You got the achievement?
I got it.
Why did the machine work? Stanley, I didn't fix it. I didn't do anything to it. I swear, it was broken just a second ago. Who fixed it? Is someone here? Are we being watched? Oh, God. Composure. Composure. Yes, as you can see, the machine is working as normal, as I intended.
Yep,
It truly speaks to the awe-inspiring magic of the Stanley Parable 2. Breathe. Just breathe.
God, calm down. Is that everything? Then? I guess that's everything.
No, we must get Stanley Parable 8.
Ow.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
I must go into infinite hole.
The infinite, does it just send you down forever?
We'll see.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious...
Amazing!
I was gonna say maybe look up to see if you see anything, but no, it's just bottomless.
8.
Oh my God, I'm ending it here. Jesus Christ.
8.
We gotta get Stanley Parable 4, man.
8.
Done. I'm stopping the stream.
8.
Oh.